My name is Scott Stevens, and I'm president of the Rotary Club of Harrisburg. I joined Rotary over 8 years ago because I believe in service, growing membership, and giving back to the community. The Rotary Club of Harrisburg is the number 23 club in the entire world. We have over 100 members, and we've been around for over 100 years. We are also part of Rotary International, which has over 1.4 million members, all seeking to do good in the world. Please check out our socials and learn more at hvgrotary.org.
Anyway, I am here to introduce to you Gloria Merrick. And Gloria Merrick, among many of you, need no introduction. She is the executive director of the Latino Hispanic American Community Center. And I'm not going to go through all of her awards, all of her roles in the state. Joe was a mentee of hers many years ago, and he does attribute a lot of his success to you, Gloria. So thank you for that. Gloria is on many foundations. You've heard she's on the Harrisburg School Foundation. She's on Historic Harrisburg, serves on the PennLive Editorial Board. She has won many, many awards, but probably the third most important thing she's very proud about after being the executive director of the center, having a beautiful and brilliant daughter, is that she serves on the LHACC board of governors. So, ladies and gentlemen, would you please join me in welcoming our Gloria Merrick.
Yes, you're my boss, so to speak. Hello, everyone.
Mic down. Pull your mic down.
Okay, yes, Peggy. I know to listen to Peggy. Hello, everyone. How are you today? I enjoyed your meeting so far, even the heckling that Ski just did about me. It's a real pleasure to be here. I am going to take you through a little presentation, and then afterwards we can have questions. Joe's my timekeeper, so if I go over, I think I have like 15 minutes, right? 10, 15 minutes. All right, Joe, start. So I'm just excited to be here. I've been to the other Rotary down the street by the Appalachian Brewery, and I spoke there. But the last time I was here at this Rotary was when Karen Fisher introduced me as her guest. And I don't know why, but I haven't been back since. I know a lot of you remember Karen Fisher when she was here. And I was one of her mentees. Because she would call me and say, Gloria, you got to come over here and do this. You got to do that. And it was great because I had a lot of mentors in my days. But, you know, Karen was something else. And so it's nice to be back here, not as a guest, but as a speaker. So thank you. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the center. I'm going to advance slide here. This is our mission. I know it's long, but basically we are empowering and advocating for the Latino community. And good jump. Oh. We are offering inclusive services. We help everyone that comes to our doors. We're collaboration oriented. That means that we work a lot of you here and a lot of companies and so forth. And we just want to add to the economic growth of the area, utilizing the Latino talent and expertise and entrepreneurs and so forth in the Latino community. And we, like I said, we help all faces of the community. So we are a Latino center, but we do help everyone. So let me just go back here to, hold on, I'm jumping ahead here. Oh, our history. In 2000, there was a Latino center before, and it was located on 13th and 13th Street in Harrisburg. It had been there for a long time. It was called the Mount Pleasant Hispanic Center. It actually started a little house right across from where our center is now. There's a little house there, and it started as a little Puerto Rican organizing committee. And my father was actually the head of that Puerto Rican organizing committee, where he would go around the community and he would find all the Latinos and just huddle and bring them together and see what their needs were and so forth. And that was a long time ago. That was in the early 70s, late 60s. So we had a lot of people coming to our house in the kitchen, in the living room. You come in, there'd be strangers there, and he'd be helping them with a lot of different things, finding jobs and so forth. And, finding them food and telling them they had to vote and taking car and vans to the voting sites and so forth. But then anyway, that center stayed open for about 35 years. And in 1970, well, it opened in 73 and it closed in 2006. When it closed in 2006, I mean, it was serving thousands and thousands of people. It was like a port of entry for any Latinos in the Tri-County area. And then what happened was that, oh, I see my PowerPoint in the back too. Thank you. Yeah, I like that. But anyway, then in 2007, the United Way realized that there was a huge gap in services because when that closed, obviously no one had anywhere to go. And there were a few interpreters, translators, and so forth in the area at different organizations. So the center had to do a lot of translating over the phone and so forth for all the people in the community that needed assistance who didn't speak English. And so because of that gap in services, the United Way spearheaded Adelante study, and that Adelante study did interviews and assessments of all the people in the community and found out, yes, there was a huge gap in services. So in 2009, the United Way decided they were going to start another center. And so I was on the founding board along with Hector Ortiz and a lot of other prominent individuals in the community and some of them had been interesting. Some of them had actually been benefactors of the previous center who had come in and worked at that center, like Hector Ortiz and a lot of others, George Pareda and so forth. And even Robert Torres was someone who frequented that old center, and now he became Secretary of Health. So there were a lot of individuals, influential individuals that were a part of the new evolution of the center. And then in 2010, being on the board, I hired the first president, first CEO of LHACC. And he stayed for a year. Some of you may remember Carlos Lopez, and he went back to the school district. And so then when he went back, they all looked at me. And so I became the executive director. 2011. You know how that is, Joe, right? So you're probably too young to remember the Eve Hutton commercials, but I always tell everybody it was just like this breeze came on. They all looked at me and they're like, Gloria, why don't you do this? I said, I'll do it for 6 months. Is this LAMERIC Institute? I already had the name of it, LAMERIC Institute. I wanted to have a Spanish flair to the, so I put La in front of it. But so that never happened. So I went to the center for about, I was there for the 6 months, and they all kept coming to me and saying, you got to stay, you got to stay. And I'm like, I'm starting my own business. And then finally I said, look, all those nuggets that I was going to use when I started my own business, I actually brought to LHACC, to the Latino Center. So I said, if you want me to put this organization on autopilot, to give me 6 more months and I'll put it on autopilot. And so I did that, and then they wanted me to stay. So I said, look, if I can bring those programs that I was going to do to empower the community, especially women and youth, then I will stay. And then Robert Torres said, yes, you can do whatever you want. Yes, you can do that. And that's when I came back, and I ended up staying at the center since 2011, and I'm still there. So my target audience at the Latino Center is all these individuals plus more that come into the area, a lot of transients and so forth. We have our open door policy. All of our staff is bilingual. They all speak Spanish, speak Portuguese and French. And so we do get, Haitians lately have been coming in because we do speak French and some others. So I just happen to have some staff that likes to learn other languages. Interesting. So they're being kind of like self-taught and learning how to speak these languages, like a real blessing. So as you see, Perry County does not have a lot of Latinos. Most of our clients come from Dauphin and Perry County. Most of the clients that come to the center, 84–85% are Spanish speaking. Spanish is their first language. We have about 2% Black that come in for assistance, 1% white, and some Asian, and a lot of them do not disclose. Primarily, the office that I talked about putting on autopilot was really the basic human needs operation. If you, when we started in 2000 and we opened in 2011, It was just doing that, basic needs, providing people with food, clothing, housing, trying to connect them to housing. And, you know, it's that whole Maslow hierarchy of needs, you know, that's basically what we did. You know, what were the root things that people needed in order to maybe even begin to think about becoming sustainable. And this is just some pictures. There's George Scott, I guess George Scott. Yeah, yeah. So we got a lot of people to come out and volunteer. He was always there, and a lot of other elected officials would come out and help us. And these are the lines for the food. And you come by our center, you know, there's still lines there. Every Tuesday morning, we have a line like that for food and whatever else we have to give away. So I told you that, you know, a little bit about our clients. We're a support mechanism there for the community. Our doors are open from 9 to 4:30. When I'm in the front office, someone will come in, and I just did this week. I said, how can I help you? ¿En qué le puedo ayudar? Can you read my mail for me? I'm like, sure. So I get their mail and I read it. You just never know. It could be something so basic. It could be from the school district. It could be from a hospital, their doctor's appointments. I think one time I was reading their mail and it said, you have to go to the medical center for this at this time. And when you leave that appointment, you have to go to this one. Well, how do I get there? And we tell them how to get the bus to go up to Hershey Medical Center and so forth. So there's never a dull moment in there. We're always trying to do whatever we can to accommodate. And that was how we started, was doing those kinds of things. And again, they relate to health and safety, housing, immigration referrals. We work with PERC, International Services, and some attorneys, not attorneys that are going to scam. I just heard a story today, somebody that got scammed $5,000 because they did all the paperwork, gave it to the attorney, and the attorney just left fly by night. And that happens a lot in the community. It's really sad. Sharing Wisdom program. One of the things, because my background is in training and development and consulting, I was a senior consultant in government. And so I took a lot of those nuggets that I was going to do in my business and just started programs for the community. This is one of them, the Sharing Wisdom program. And every Wednesday you can find our seniors there, and they play bingo, they're in fellowship, and the nurses come in, take their blood pressure and so forth. And they just love it. They just love coming to the center. And then I started a youth program. And with that, I kind of modeled this one after the Women's Leadership Institute that I ran in government. I had about women graduate from the Leadership Institute for Women in Government. That's my, oh, I took my pin off. I had my LDI pin. But I kind of modeled my youth program after the Women's Leadership Institute. Are any of you familiar with LISTO? Okay, well, it's for high school students. And they come in and we just do a lot of things with them in relation to, we have lectures and discussions on team building, financial management, decision-making, all those things. They do community service projects, and we have off-site excursions like Comcast or Hershey and any other companies that will have us. Maybe we can come and visit some of your companies. And thanks to that, you know, I pretty much told you where we were to about, you know, recently until we got a new building. And thanks to Peggy Grove, this past year, we have moved into this facility, and that whole building is ours. So we actually went from one little room that there were 2 rooms. If you split this room in half, we were in 2 rooms at the Latino Center. That was the Latino Center. And people would come in and say, is this a Latino Center? I'd say, yeah, this is a Latino Center. But we did a lot out of that. So people were like shocked that that's all the space we had. And one of those people that came in and said that was Peggy. Peggy came in and sat down, and she was bringing donations, which she always did. And she said, you've outgrown this room, Gloria. You need another building. And I'm like, yeah. And, you know, just having conversation. And the next day, Peggy picked me up. We went driving around the community. And I'm like, what's going on here? You know, it was just like a whirlwind. And she said, how about this building? I'm like, okay. So we got that building thanks to Peggy Grove. We had our ribbon cutting in June or in May, and everyone was there. It was just phenomenal. And so now we have the new building, and I'm going to speed up a little bit so I don't go over my time. But with the new building now, we've been able to do a lot of things with women businesses, Latina entrepreneurs. A lot of them were struggling during the pandemic, had a lot of issues. They were starting a business, or they had business. and it plummeted or whatever. And so we decided to have a meeting and invite women that needed assistance or an incubator space, somewhere where they could come and, work on their businesses. It's been great. We started with 4 women. We have 50 women right now at various touch points of starting a business, and they're just like totally excited. And mind you, I was going to start my own business, but I thought, well, why not help them start their business? And we're just helping them get their license. It's really been phenomenal. Then we had a ribbon cutting, like I said. Oh, I'm going backwards. And then we continue to add continued support to the women. These are some of the things we do for them when they come to the center. And these are some of the things we want to do for them too. So collaboration and partnership opportunities, we are still embarking on trying to find a lot of those partnerships and opportunities for our women so we can match them up as mentors to people that have those types of businesses. And then workforce development. This building is an opportunity that gives us an opportunity to begin to do other kinds of things. We've already expanded our ESL program to basic, intermediate. We're looking to have certifications for the people who want to learn Spanish. I'm talking to Moravia College right now. There is a new program that has come out, and I'd like to offer that center out. So if some of you want to learn Spanish, you can come out and take those classes. Also, now that we have, with the help of Comcast, a computer lab, we're going to do some advanced computer classes, showing people how to use the computer. A lot of them don't know how to use the computer. And, they come into the office, can you help me sign up for workers' comp? And all these things. And we're trying to train them when they come in. So we use their phone and try to guide them. So it says, para español, prima dos, for Spanish, press 2. So we're trying to teach them that it's okay to do that, but they'd rather speak with a person. Obviously. And then I'm talking with LHACC, Harrisburg University, at State, Moravian College, and a lot of others, because my goal really is to bring a little piece of a college campus life into that building so that all of the people in the community can take college classes, even beginner classes, some certifications, and other kinds of things to the center. We do a lot of other things too. We're doing COVID education for children. We ran this in June, and we try to connect in our learnings a lot of the culture and immerse people in their culture, because when they're immersed in their culture, they're more comfortable and they just absorb and learn the information a lot quicker, we find. And so that's what we're doing for the kids. We got a little grant from DCED to do that. So we developed a book, Maria's COVID Tale, and we're going to publish that. And it's a story about a butterfly, caterpillar that gets COVID, and the whole family gets infected in the forest and so forth. So it's really, really nice that we got funding for that and that we're able to do things for the children. We are doing some things with funds we just got from TFEC Foundation on mental health for youth. And so we partner with so many people and so many organizations, and a lot of you out there, and I'm really grateful for that. I'll just show you about our festival is this Saturday, and we'll have about 70 companies there. A lot of your companies will be there. The Rotary is going to be there, and they're bringing games and so forth. They're bringing, I think, face painting and all that. You got to come out. Dr. Ski's always there, and a lot of you are always there, and Kristen will be there, right, Kristen?
I'm testing now to see if my team's going to join me.
And this shows you a lot of the support that we get. These are a lot of the people that are sponsoring our event. The festival is not just a festival, it's a huge fundraiser for us. And all these companies, year after year after year, they contribute to the center. And because of their support, of course, Peggy's massive support now with the building, and with the ongoing support from all these companies and more companies that didn't sponsor this particular event, but that provide operation support for the center. Like Hershey Company will just give us a huge donation at the beginning of the year and say, just use it towards operations. We trust you, just use it towards your programs. And this is one of our entrepreneur testimonials, Adriana. She came to me from Venezuela a couple years ago, probably about 5 years ago. And she had a master's degree in economics, but she didn't speak English. She didn't have anywhere to go. So she came to the center for help. And I said, can you type? And she said, yes. I said, can you run a database? She goes, yes. I'm a math major too. And I'm like, okay. but she couldn't speak English, so she couldn't get a job. And so now Adriana is a assistant banker at the PNC Bank that rents from our building. And she just, this is her testimonial. So she says that her business is, I feel that Nana's Venezuelan food is a part of the Latino Center. We coached and mentored her, and there's a lot of them like that. And then this is from our senior program. This is Lourdes and Freddie. And they also just talk all the time about how much they love coming to the center for their senior activities that we had. We just had Representative Patty Kim, and we had Representative Fleming, Representative Madston, and a few others come in and do a session for them last week on Medicare and prescription drugs and so forth, and how they can save money and so forth. And that is it. That's all I have. Thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity.
Questions? Thank you, Gloria. And I have a small token of our appreciation. We're giving these out, the little marble thing with the etched brass, the 4-way test. So thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.